First, transparency with the community. It appears as though the district is trying to hide the fact from the community that there is some serious litigation going on. I understand that legally, if something else comes up after the newspaper has been printed, you can still add it to the agenda up to 72 hours before the meeting. That could happen on occasion and wouldn't constitute a pattern. However, the last 3 times this board has discussed my suit or charges against you, and has not made it into the agendas printed in the local papers. And 2 of those times involved a missing letter in the closed session portion of the regular meeting agendas. To me, it would be a pretty hard sell to say that's been done on accident. The last 3 times seems like an attempt to keep the vast majority of the community unaware that there is still litigation going on, including a new federal charge. Next, where I'm coming from. You don't really know me personally at all. You don't know what drives me. I'm obviously not going to give up, quit, or just go away. And what this means to me has evolved and grown over time. I figure I'll go ahead and give you a very brief of the how, since this district's actions are the why. In the past, yes, I was fighting for myself, but the bigger picture, the reason I couldn't stop, was because this fight is also for every single falsely accused out there. Be they a teacher, a stepfather, and an ugly divorce, you name it. My fight was for the falsely accused, and my hopes were that through this fight, things might change. My fight has grown, and my resolve before was nothing compared to what it is now. I have said that I believe your actions against me to be retaliatory. Now I know it for a fact, and I cannot accept that. The United States government doesn't allow for it. The most fundamental principles of our country don't allow for it. My fight for the freedom in America to be able to stand up and challenge without fear of what will happen to you. And my hope that others in power will retaliate and there will be less fear in people of retaliation because they will know it doesn't have to go unanswered for in this country. I now know that this district clearly does not think I am a threat to students, and that the only reason I am being treated like I am and being denied the things I am being denied is out of vindictive, spiteful retaliation. And saying it's nothing personal all day long doesn't mean anything when your actions and presentable facts clearly show otherwise. Finally, your awareness. When I have a concern or make a claim, I have done my homework. I know what I'm talking about. One example. At the board candidates forum prior to the most recent election, in regards to a comment made in the paper, I pointed out that the French program was being phased out because teaching the course with computers didn't work. Both the administrator president and a board member said they weren't sure I was right about that. That French was in fact offered, and that there just wasn't enough interest in it, and that computers would still be great for other languages. Not accurate. French 1 was not offered to students, period. The reason? I was told because teaching it by computer just didn't work, that it wouldn't work for any language, just like it wouldn't work for a math class. In those cases, you need a live teacher. The reason I point this out to you is that it's an example involving you directly, where you have to sit back and acknowledge, even just to yourself, yeah, she was right. She did know what she was talking about. I'm assuming that as a board, all of you are equally aware of issues, and that the 2 members present for the forum are not for some reason made less aware than the rest of you. I also pointed out so that perhaps you may begin to realize she might know what she's talking about with other things as well. And why don't we know more about the things she's talking about? If she knows X, why don't we know it? Why haven't we been made aware? Perhaps even you may begin to believe what I say is true and believe in my competence that I'm accurate in what I say. If I were on this board, I would be demanding to see everything for myself. All of the evidence, all of the information, especially regarding the EEOC charge. The federal government investigating this district is not something to take lightly. If I wanted to know about an investigation, I wouldn't rely on those being investigated for the information. I would want to see everything from the charging party, their reasons for the charge, their evidence, etc. I may be wrong, but I feel that you as board members are not as informed as you need to be, as informed as your duty to this community demands. I've been asked before if I would be willing to sit down and talk to the board about everything. My answer is yes. If you ever want to sit down and talk with me, I would welcome those discussions. The only other thing is a reminder that you are the ultimate boss, caretakers, and stewards for this school district, for our community. It's not the superintendent, and it's not your attorney, it's you. Thank you.
I do have something to clarify. This time, we have to send the notice into the paper 7 days prior to the board meeting in order to get it in the paper. The law requires us to post an agenda 72 hours prior. When the notice was sent to the paper, consultation with the attorney on pending litigation was inadvertently left off. Nothing was done maliciously. When it came out in the paper, we saw it was not on the agenda posted in the paper, and it was added to the agenda. It has not been left off of there the last 3 times. It was left off the paper this time, but it was posted on our agenda, on the duly posted agenda. It was inadvertently left off the paper, and it was corrected on the agenda that was posted 72 hours prior to the meeting, which is our legal meeting posting requirement.
It was not in the paper the last 3 times.
Have we followed all policy in this regard?
Yes.
Fair enough.
So we did post it as a law requirement.
Yes.
It is. It has been for a long time.
I was not aware that it was launched. Like, I knew you were like, we did not, yeah, where it is. Okay, since it's not on the agenda, we cannot do any further discussion. That leaves